What's up, everybody? Metal Dave here, along with my co-host Jason McMaster, bringing you another episode of the Talk Louder podcast. Today, we're going to take a few minutes to talk about the upcoming Dangerous Toys release. A lot of people have been asking about new Dangerous Toys music. To be clear, this is not necessarily new music, but it is a new release. And I know a lot of people are really excited about this. People have been clamoring for years and years and years for something new from Dangerous Toys. You guys have played a couple new songs live, but people have wanted something to stream, hold in their hands, and listen to. They've wanted a new Dangerous Toys record, and this is about to happen.
Yeah, and we're here to talk a little bit about it today, and I'll go into maybe some reasons why, this or that or the other thing didn't happen, or
Right.
who knows what's going to happen. But for certain, December 12th, you will be able to buy a record full of songs you've never heard, whether they were recorded, 30 years ago or not.
Yeah. It's called Demolition. It's the latest release from Dangerous Toys, coming out December 12th. We're going to let Jason talk all about it here in just a minute on the Talk Louder podcast. So you've got a new Dangerous Toys record coming out December 12th. It's called Demolition, and people have been waiting for something from Dangerous Toys for a long time. We hear it all the time. We get comments on our YouTube channel because we have this podcast. People are like, "Hey, Jason, when are we going to get some new Dangerous Toys?" Blah, 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 blah. And
I divert my eyes. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Deflect. Well, the deflection is over, folks. December 12th, you will have a new Dangerous Toys record. It's called Demolition, but it's not new material. So I'm going to let you take it from here. Tell us what this is and what people can expect.
Well, it's kind of important for people to know a little bit of backstory about the new record. It's demos, and the songs are basically rejects from the label. We were writing, in between Hellacious Acres and Pissed, right? And we wrote a lot of songs. And I usually, when I tell the story, embellished or not, it's like 75 or 80 songs that I feel like we wrote. And I'm not a hoarder, I promise. But there's all kinds of stuff in the corner behind me. If you're watching on our show on YouTube today, there's cassettes upon cassette tapes, stacked boxes and boxes. And during COVID, that was one of the chores that I gave myself, was to digitize all of those songs, good or bad, rehearsal or actually recorded, 4-track, 8-track, or actually in a studio. So, and then again, they just have been sitting, and they're just not on cassette. They've just moved up into a digitized state, right? Of sleep, right? They're still in a coffin. They're just in a digital coffin now. Right. So, I feel like, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I feel like Scott and Paul have their own respective bands. Paul with Scream Therapy and Scott with Legion of the Dog. Well, they release records and they want, the best production and the best, PR and the best machines to try to help them still DIY because they're making their own records, right? It's not the same world as it was. I think at some point, probably both of them were talking to Cleopatra. And of course, everyone knows Cleopatra has released a few Dangerous Toys things, a live album. They've reissued Pissed, the artist formerly known as. I feel like those vinyl releases they did came out really good, other than some of the artwork. But I won't go into that.
I'll ask you about that later.
Yeah, you can ask me about it, and I'll answer honestly. The CD versions of those not to be long-winded, they have bonus tracks on them that are not Dangerous Toy songs. They are cover songs where it's just me singing with a bunch of other hoodlums that were given a 6-pack, and they sent me a check and I sang the vocal, and these guys, and they're from different times that ended up on Cleopatra tribute albums, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, a Southern rock tribute. I've done a ZZ Top and a Leonard Skinner and whatever. So they thought it was a good idea to put all of those songs, those cover songs that are not recorded by Dangerous Toys, it's just me singing,
right,
and put them on a Dangerous Toys record. And that's a no-no in my eyes. But anyway, so the album, the vinyl versions are pretty, they're done well. It's done pretty well, except for some of the artwork. Dave, you're going to ask me about it. I have this big thing that I used to say, and I stopped saying it. It's like, why would I put out a new record when records are not selling? Why would I want to record new material when no one's going to buy it? Well, I had this really bad attitude, and I don't think anybody can blame me because, there might be out of the million records that the toys have sold, when you add all of the sales up, it's 1 million records. And I'm not trying to, shoot hot, wind up my own patootie, but
yeah,
it's a lot of records we've sold, so there's a lot of fans globally.
Right.
Well, nowadays, people think that we broke up after Hellacious Acres. There's that contingency. There's those fans that don't think that we toured. They don't think that we play. They don't think, because it's not on TV, because it's not under the banner of Sony Music, anything independent. There was this lull in time to where people had thought, man, I wish they would get back together. It's like, dude, we have a gig tomorrow, Yeah. So that was like an argument I was having with a ghost. It's like getting mad at no one. It's not their fault because they live under a bubble, or in a bubble under a rock. It's important to me to let people know how I'm feeling about the why and where. Why would I record a brand new thing under that name when no one's going to, it was easier for me to find reasons to do a new Broken Teeth record.
Right.
Or, collaborate with someone and make a side thing and have fun, just, scratching itches and doing all different kinds of music and writing different kinds of things with other people. That made more sense to put out new music that way than Dangerous Toys because of the judgment, right? Yeah. And, I've kind of gotten over that because it's been exciting to actually get busier and busier with the toys guys. And then when, me and Scott start penning new ideas and they start coming together, and next thing you know, we have like 3, 4, 5, 6.7 new songs that, we're looking at, well, that's enough material to kind of almost call it a record, Right. And so that's where we are with that. In the meantime, while Scott's maybe talking to Cleopatra about Legion of the Dog and the process of releasing his record with his band Legion, hey, what about some toy stuff? You guys, surely they said, you guys got anything just laying around? Right. Scott calls me one day and here we go. Right. Okay. We start talking about it. It's like after COVID, it's like no point in steering the bus, just whatever. Right. Because I feel like record sales got, people were sitting around more and getting angry, emotional because, what, sad, mad, glad, whatever, because they're stuck in their homes and there's this fear blanket over the world. A lot of people got emotional and they got creative. A lot of people made a lot of records during COVID. Right. A lot of people started podcasts. Yeah. Because of COVID. So COVID
Right.
is like this really weird vampire bite that people got in the middle of the night, and they
Right.
became, ta-da, this is the new me. I have to be inspired somehow. So, ta-da, COVID, you're not going to beat me. I'm just going to start raising hell in my garage, something, right? And this could be anybody. Anybody who was in the entertainment business. I mean, Saturday Night Live was doing they were recording skits on Zoom.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw Saturday Night Live during COVID. It was fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, my son was going to school on Zoom.
Yeah.
Everybody was on Zoom. Yeah.
So anyway, not to go down that rabbit hole, but it's an interesting thing how there's these windows and doors are opening in your mind and your soul, and your, creativity comes at you in different ways. And that COVID thing was not any different.
Yeah.
So the fact that I had all of these digitized, rejected songs from the record label, and I will mention that we eventually, they reject. I mean, we would write 4 songs, demo them, and send them to the label, and they would just say the same thing. Keep writing. Nope, not yet. Love you guys, but just keep writing. No, this would have been 92.
That's where I was.
93.
Yeah.
It was a weird time for just hard rock music, right? Because the landscape was kind of like the San Andreas Fault. It was just the world was shifting. So we didn't care as a band, and during that time, we ended up putting out Pissed, and we toured in between, we toured after. We just continued to be Dangerous Toys and play rock and roll. Now, the artist formerly known as was different, because that was like a crazy time where we had lost Mike Watson, we had lost Danny Aaron. The sound of the band, the sound that we had on Hellacious Acres and even the first record had morphed enough, and we saved it on Pissed because it was the original band, Mike Watson, me, Scott, and Mark, with Paul, who was fit like a glove, and everybody knows that, with songs that we had written in the interim, whether they be with Danny or not.
Right.
And that was Pissed, and then the artist came, and we lost Mike Watson. When we were writing and doing demos, I was playing bass, and the producer was like, you should play bass. These songs are different because of where you are all in your collective jam rooms with you on bass. These songs sound this way for a reason. You should hold on to that for a moment and just see what happens. The world is not going to give a shit. Boy, was he right. They didn't give a shit. I like to think in retrospect, because it's one of my favorite things I've ever done, is the artist formerly known as. When you listen to that record, it's the same band, but how could the same band just sound like that? There's no Shuitamamana, there's no Baby, there's no crotch grabbing, there's no Fire Demon, there's no, where'd all the Kiss go? Where'd all the AC/DC go? It's still in there, but it's melodic, it's angry. I feel like there are heavier and angrier songs than we've ever done, and there's also softer and more melodic songs than we've ever done, all in one place.
Yeah.
It's a record that needed to happen, and that's all I'll say about it. So, we came home and we went to sleep, I started Broken Teeth with Paul and ended up in Godzilla Motor Company with Bobby, and you see what I mean? It's like all of these things. Anyway, so I'll fast forward. All the while, these old demos are just rotting under my feet. Okay. So when Scott says, hey, what do you got? And I said, well, we can dust some of these off, and there's certain songs that I'm just going to throw in the garbage and say, they can't have this, they can't have that. These are just, I'll say it again, David, these songs are rejects.
Right. Yeah.
And
you guys haven't been shy about that.
We don't necessarily think these are songs that we would actually want to show you.
Right.
So
And
there's
you've been
some
honest about that the whole time.
There's some vulnerability going on here.
Right.
About us just kind of showing our warts, right? At one point, we were going to call this Demos album, the Demolition record, we were going to call it Warts and All.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it was just like, fuck it, here it is, you know?
I like the Demolition title because I like to play on words. They are demos, as you said.
Yeah, I mean, I that hit me in my brain during a conversation with Scott, and Scott confirmed that he liked that, and we ran with that, and we knew that no one else in the group was going to have an issue with something like that because it's an obvious, it's been done, you know?
Yeah.
And,
so how many tracks are on this thing?
There's 10 songs.
10 songs.
That's how many they want. That's how many they want. The single is out right now.
Right.
I don't know when this episode will air, but December 12th, you can get it all. It'll be available. See, you can pre-order now, but you could go into a store, your favorite place that sells records, and buy vinyl, cassette, and CD.
Wow. And this is Cleopatra putting this out?
Yes.
Okay. And the single you mentioned is Rock Shock Cowboy. Is that right?
That is right. Ding, ding, ding. You got that right.
So I found that interesting because to me, when I heard that song, it basically starts with the chorus, right?
Yeah. It sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's another song that starts with a chorus, with kind of the chorus? Dangerous Toys.
Yeah.
It's Scared, isn't it?
Scared. Yeah. I was just
scared to where I'm not singing, hey man, I think, I'm not coming out singing the lyric, but that riff is the chorus.
Right.
When you bang into Scared, that's the chorus riff.
So why was
similar.
this song, I keep wanting to call it shock rock, and it's rock shock.
Shock Cowboy. Yeah.
Why was Rock Shock Cowboy chosen as the lead single?
Funny that you asked that, and it's also funny that the answer might be simply easy, maybe silly decision that it's track one.
Okay.
I mean, me and Scott chose the running order, the flow of the record.
Okay.
Song to song, and boom, he's a rock right into, first thing you hear, and I was like, we should start the record with that because it's kind of just fucking dumb obvious, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that as soon as the label folks press play on the masters that we sent them, they were like, oh, well, work is done. Boom, first single, easy.
Okay.
I don't even know what the second single is going to be.
So
they're not very good with their communication with us, or here, let me backpedal. They're not as forthcoming with information as I would like them to be as far as approval from the band.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
As a matter of fact, on that note, when Rock Shock Cowboy came out a couple of days ago on streaming, they had a piece of artwork that went with it. It's a single. We got to have it'll have its own artwork. And it was the clown with some 6-shooters, like pointed up at the sky.
Yes.
Kind of a stick 'em up. And he had like a potato sack over his head, like the old coach robbers had.
Right.
They would ride up and ping, 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 and they would shoot in the air and, oh, we're being robbed. And they'd run them off the road and rob everybody. And probably people would get killed. And they would wear those sacks over there, with their one eye cut, they're looking through that eye, just evil shit going on.
Right.
I get the concept, but, I love you, Cleopatra, for wanting to help a bunch of old guys put out some rock and roll. But here's the deal. That was a fail because it looks bad. No, I can't believe how nice everybody's being about it. It's like, oh, new music. And there's like, you don't see this. It just looks like someone diarrheaed all over the clown's face. It doesn't really look, it didn't work. Massive fail. So now when you go look it up fresh, it's got the album cover art. So let's
talk about the album cover art because I love it. It's great. And it was done by Claudio Bergman.
That's right.
who famously did the Judas Priest Firepower album cover. And he's also done some other things with you, the Cassius King record. He's done the classic 78, the Kiss sound-alike band, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
He's done stuff for Richie Faulkner.
Yep.
He's an accomplished artist in many ways, not just rock and roll, but also like fantasy art and Bigfoot and space aliens and this sort of thing. But
he's doing hot shot stuff. He refined my hot shot logo.
So he's
done a bunch of stuff for me. He even and this is embarrassing, for years and years and years and years, we were like, scanning and redrawing the original Dangerous Toys logo, kind of the circus font, kind of shit that we have, which I believe Tommy Pons just found the right font that fit with what we were doing. I think he had something to do with that, as well as the creation of the clown with some of my brain power as well, but with his expertise and the kind of illustrations that Tommy does. And we'll talk about that again. We've talked about that quite a bit on Talk Louder podcast, but I want to bring it up again because it's important to what we ended up here with Claudio. But I was going to say, Claudio has redone just our plain Dangerous Toys logo. He's redone that, and it's sharp. And I don't know if you can notice, you can tell if you look at something fairly old that has the same logo and something fairly new, it's like popping out way more because of what Claudio had done to it. Yeah. It's like, it's high res comparatively. Yeah. In a big way. Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that there's been some bootlegs that have come out in the meantime over the years, and the artwork, I see this all the time, and I know you see it, you're in the band, but even as someone on the sidelines, I see people questioning online, I went and I got this Dangerous Toys album and the clown looks different and I didn't know they did this. And it's like, well, it's because they didn't do it and somebody else did it, and the artwork was not necessarily... Let me clarify what you're saying. You're saying bootleg, and the only bootlegs that are official bootlegs are bootlegs of the first two Sony releases, the Columbia records, the first album and the second album. Okay, the things that you're confused about are, and I've mentioned this already in this interview here, Cleopatra releasing bad artwork with licensed music on it, so it's not technically a bootleg. What's happening there? And that's sort of like people going, wait, what is this? Is this new? And they hold it up and they ask me, I'm like, when I see it for the first time, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Well, it's on Cleopatra and it has a song. And I'm like, well, that's right. Cleopatra they have license to those songs, but what the fuck? Where's our clown? How come they're not using our clown? How come they're using some like roly-poly fat circus clown? That's not our clown. So there was some like, what the hell going on for years. And then when they reissued on vinyl, which was just 2 years ago or something like that, they kind of got it right. They sort of fixed some stuff. Okay. They also took some of the Piss songs and some of the artist songs and some of the live album. That's 3 records that they have rights to, and they mixed it up and made it a greatest hits record. And that clown art is not, we as a band did not approve that artwork. And so that's probably what you're confusing as a bootleg, and that it's not a bootleg. That is legitimate. The band does make money off of that, but we do not condone that artwork. We were not contacted. All they would have had to do is go, hey dudes, y'all got some artwork you want to submit for this cool thing we got going on? And I'm like, let me work on it. Let me get you something. And we would have been able to go, boom. Yeah. So finally with Demolition, that has happened. Right. So I'm using the wrong term when I say bootleg. That's okay. In the sense that the music is legit, but the artwork was not necessarily. It's not, but the artwork is still not bootleg. It's coming from the label's art department, which they obviously
Right. Well, I'm using layman's terms here. When I say bootleg, I mean that as an umbrella to say that the band didn't approve this entire product.
Not band approved artwork.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Demolition. The new record, Claudio Bergman did it. It's Beelzebub the clown smashing a cassette tape with a wooden mallet. Yeah. And it's awesome looking. And what I liked about it is, compared to the artwork we were just talking about, this is a new artist doing the artwork, but he retains a lot of the character of the original Beelzebub.
And to put words in Claudio's mouth that he will actually appreciate, because I don't appreciate people doing that to me unless it's totally verbatim. Claudio is 1000% about recreating the band's character, if it be a mascot, a logo, something that has been procured and solidified with fans and the band and the world, universal, just like the clown is to Dangerous Toys. He was 1000% hell-bent to make that as legit as he could and have his sort of spin on it. Now, it's done in a different way, because Tommy Pons, he does like a pencil to pen and ink and an airbrush. He's super old school artist. And of course, Claudio was doing that exact same thing in his upbringing as an artist. He was an art student for many years. And now he's a well-known artist who does things like that. Now, because of AI, there's a lot of people like him that are suffering. And I'm trying to not let that happen with people like Claudio. But he does use a digital illustrator, but he's actually drawing, like, imagine you grabbing your screen and opening it up real big to zoom in on a super little thing so you can put details with a stylus pen. Mm-hmm. So he may have sketches and drawings that he scans and then creates this sort, you know what I mean? It's a modern way to draw and pen and ink, but it's done digital draw, pen and ink. And there's something really cool coming out about how he did that. And I'll let him explain that in the video that he's actually going to put out. I guess I'm sorry, Claudio. I'm kind of spoiling he made a video of him doing this whole, from a sketch to the finished piece.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be fucking awesome. So Tommy Pons and I did create the clown together. The old story does go, the label and management were trying to come up with a concept for the first Dangerous Toys record. They say, well, what, me and the manager were like, what is a Dangerous Toy? What the hell are we going to do? We need a logo. We need something. Fast forward, I say, well, what about this clown? He's kind of he lives in this creepy attic with a jack-in-the-box and la 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 la, and he's kind of vampirical, and he's in the dark, and he's like, whoa, this is cool. So I get faxed. Yeah, that's how long ago it was. Look it up if you don't know what fax means. Yeah. I got faxes of these little doodles, these drawings. I think I still have them around here. I'm not a hoarder, I promise. And they are fucking awful. They look like little balloon clowns, draw balloon circles and then turn it into this, they're fucking psycho looking, but they're psycho looking like, yeah, hi boys and girls, really weird, like not scary, like Alien with slobber dripping down and nails for teeth and like white, your eyes rolled in the back of your head, and like it was maniacal in a different way, and just too circus, and wearing a cowboy hat that was way out of proportion. It was like one of those little tiny little Mr. Potato Head kind of cowboy hat. It was fucking awful. I'm just telling. Anyway, I called management. I go, these are terrible. I'm sorry if I'm being blunt, but these are terrible. And I was told, well, Jason, these are done by the best artists in LA. And I'm like, really? I got a guy who lives an hour away who can murder this.
Yeah.
murder this. And that Tommy could
Oh, yeah.
murder that because you grew up in San Antonio. You probably saw shit on band flyers all the time.
Yeah.
I called
know
Tommy. I
Tom.
go, I got this thing going on, la 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 la, but I need it kind of pronto. So, do a little watercolor, and he did, and he faxed it to management. I got a call the next day. He's like, "You were right." So with just a 5-minute conversation, me and Tommy Pons, I got this idea for a clown, and you can do it. And I know, just do your. He had this character called Snog. That's on like an Unholy Book shirt. It's on countless metal flyers from the mid 80s going back to like 84 and shit. He would do stuff for S.A. Slayer. He did shit for Watchtower. Anyway, that's how I knew Tommy Pons and that how he could do it. So between the two of us, we kind of molded this sort of like, killer clowns from outer space. Kind of a thing meets Eddie from Iron Maiden without it trying to be any of those, trying to hone it in and let's get rid of the bananas that are going to make people, we just wanted to go bang and people kind of, well, here we are. Claudio, we needed it fast. Claudio, Tommy doesn't work as fast as he used to. So we needed we needed somebody fast. And this is what we came up with. Now, credit again to Tommy for the mallet, because if you go back to the very first album cover, you pull the inner sleeve out with the poem on one side, the lyrics on the other. Mm-hmm. The clown is coming out of the attic and reaching for the mallet. That's how long we've been using the mallet.
Yeah. The mallet is in that poster over my shoulder.
That's right. So I had to school Claudio on that. Mallet is part of the gig. It's part of the legacy of Billsy Bub, which is named by Tommy. So
love it.
Claudio kicked ass. It was he's super easy to work with. He's fast. He's very sweet and just really easy. And I
love it.
Yeah, it came out really good. It's funny. I got an email this morning. I don't know if people know this, but Volatile skateboards. Volatile merchandise is what you can type in and look up their skateboards. They do the first two albums, skateboards. The first album, skateboard, Hellacious Acres skateboard. I got an email this morning. John Horn, the main guy, he emails me. He's like, dude, this new record cover, we have to do a fucking skateboard of it. And I'm like, yes, don't hesitate. Here's the art. Go.
Yeah. Okay. So I was going to ask too if there'll be additional merch like T-shirts and stuff like that with this art on it.
We haven't really gotten there yet, but we're ill prepared.
Well, it all came together pretty quickly. It sounds.
Yeah, not yet. I mean, we've had the artwork for a while, but it's now we didn't know what it was going to do. So far, response has been great.
I love it. So cool. You said 10 songs,
10
right?
songs.
So let's we don't have to go track by track, but give us a sense of what comprises those 10 songs. What can people expect to hear? Where were these songs plucked from? I know you said
I'll ask you. Have you ever heard Metal Dave, my friend? Have you ever heard like 4-track demo stuff before?
I wouldn't even know if I have.
Okay.
That's over my head.
So in the 80s and 90s, these little cassette tape 4-track and 8-track recorders, you put a cassette in, you put some microphones plugged into it, and you press record, and you can record single track at a time. A click track on one track, guitar, bass, 2 tracks for stereo drums, or you can record live or whatever. So on these little cassette home studio, they're super archaic now.
Yeah.
Some people like here you go. I recall, everyone did it this way. And because a lot of people couldn't afford to just demo songs in a real studio.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So it costs money. So a lot of people would just make their whole albums on little 4 tracks. I bet some early death metal was done on the whole album was done on 4-track shit. I bet.
Sure.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Bathory, that one dude, Corthon, probably did a whole record on a 4-track.
Okay.
So my point is you can go lo-fi and then you can do some really great work like Dream Theater when they were called Majesty, pre-Dream Theater, the same band, recorded on 4-track songs from their first album and released it as their demo tape. And that was so common. Okay, so here we are, got a room rented in South Austin, and we're there every day writing songs. You know, we've got the deal. We've sold some records. We've done tours with our idols. We've put the second record. We're at home now in between records writing songs for a third record.
92, 93 or
sure.
So. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're home from Hellacious Acres and we're writing songs, and things are weird and different already for whatever reason. I just remember going, wow, this is wild. We're like, we need to write a record and hurry up. Well, a year goes by, a year and a half goes by, and we've got all these fucking songs. Anyway, so we literally had to buy a 4-track and then we upgraded to an 8-track. In the interim, some in between there, let me underline, the quality of these songs is not really great, even when they were fresh out of even when we dubbed them on a cassette, a proper mix to send to management and the label, right?
Right. Okay.
So just so you know, it's like, it's not really album quality as to what it's not Max Norman or Roy Thomas Baker.
It's not intended for public consumption.
No, it's demos. It's homework. Just like these are rough, right? These are rough. I mean, played well, we're performing them as well. They're fresh. They're just written. Some of them probably needed to be rewritten. Because maybe, the chorus could go twice here. Oh, the chorus comes in too soon, whatever. But we were established as songwriters and well-to-do enough to at least put together during this interim a shit ton of material.
Right.
Somewhere in the middle there, we went into a studio to record a few tunes that we had, and those were Rock Shock Cowboy in a real studio.
Okay.
Rock Shock Cowboy was recorded in a real studio. There's another one on the record from the same studio recording called Backstreet Girl. There's another one called Rattle My Cage. Mm-hmm. There's one more that didn't make the record, but those three that I just mentioned are on the record. Now, over time, you have this rickety ass cassette, and tapes is magnetic, and sometimes you put in an old tape and it's going, it's got all this noise and, making all this shitty. Well, get ready. because we had to polish turds because of how old these cassettes were. And good thing I digitized them when I did. Yeah, which would have been during COVID.
Wouldn't have even had that to work with.
Right, because they're rotting behind me now. The tapes are. So, good thing I digitized it all. And dude, we could put out a Demolition 2, 3, 4, 5 because of all the material we have.
Right.
Now, that's not the plan.
Yeah, right. So don't get excited, folks.
Yeah, that's not the plan. But some people would probably like to hear a rehearsal of the very first version of Scared from Mark's Kitchen in 1988, though.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So out of these 10 songs, I mean, you guys kind of jokingly or not so jokingly refer to them. You're just being honest. They were basically rejects.
Yeah.
When you were working on those songs at the time, did you feel like they were rejects, or did you feel like they were album quality songs that just didn't have a chance to bake fully?
That's a great question. We would get excited regularly about one or two, sometimes more of the songs that we had written that day or that week. Right. That had turned into our job. We had made enough money to put ourselves on salary. I mean,
Nice.
it wasn't shit. It was probably $500 a month, $600 a month to fucking live off in 1992.
Right.
You know, we were all still, it was still scratching, you know.
But it was doable back then.
Yeah, we were living.
Yeah.
I was still what I call sofa surfing, but I was living, you know. And so that was our job. That's what we did every day, was write songs in hopes that we could, manifest, 9 or 10 tunes for the label to go, I think we're ready. And it never happened. So one day, not to get off the track here, we told our manager, can you call Columbia, Sony, and just tell them we're done? Because we think we have a record, and that record was Pissed. We had all the songs from Pissed, and those were done. Some of those go back to 92, 93, and then the record came out in 94, recorded and released in 94.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pissed is my favorite.
Pissed is great.
Great
well, with the strength of all of the songs that we culled from this, let's just call it 2 years, right? The 2-year interim there. These songs on Demolition are from the same batches that Pissed were culled from.
Right. Okay.
And I've got demos of the Pissed songs as well.
So when you're working on these songs, this is after Hellacious Acres.
Right.
As far as you know, you're still signed. So when did the hammer drop? So you're busy working on these songs, thinking that you're writing what's going to be your third album, and then the major label drops you guys.
No, I said it just 30 seconds ago. We called our manager because we were pissed. We said, hey, can you call them and ask them, can we leave the label? Because we're fucking done.
Oh, okay.
We asked to be dropped.
Okay.
Not that it fucking matters, but to be clear, it's funny when a band is done with their label that is prestigious as Sony, Columbia,
Right.
I guess we were done. We weren't mad at them. It was the climate and where we were, and we knew the reasons why they weren't accepting this Texas boogie hard rock / boogie metal band from Austin putting out a record amidst the height of the careers of Nirvana and Pearl Jam.
Right.
We knew what they were doing over there. It's kind of important for them to hear our side and go, well, we're writing the songs that we want to write. We're not writing the songs that you want us to write. So obviously this is not going to work anymore, and you guys have been great, and let's hug it out and go our separate ways. And we did. And then that's when we decided to go with DMZ Dose Records, which was a sister label of Antone's here in town, and they had distribution and everything. And we sold, I think we sold like 30,000 copies of Pissed, and then on the artist we sold like 10,000, and that record was considered a huge flop. I want to know someone that's selling 10,000 records right now.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So you see my point. I mean, we weren't arguing. It was a little bit back to a DIY thing. Well, I come from that. We all kind of come from that. So nobody's bumming out.
So rattle off some song titles on Demolition and give us a little backstory on a couple of them.
Yeah. So interesting that 99, and we have a friendly argument, me and Mike Watson. I go, I'm calling Mike. We had these conference calls when we're putting this stuff together, the pulp for the record, right? And the art panels and shit. And did you write this one? Yeah, I think I don't like that I'm admitting this, but I did write those lyrics. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't remember writing that at all. And he's like, are you sure you didn't write that? We had this conversation many times.
Okay.
I know certainly that I wrote parts of Rock Shock Cowboy lyrics. I swear he wrote Backstreet Girl. There was actually a band from like Europe living in Austin during the time that the back room was kind of what I call exploding.
Right.
In like 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. In the middle there was a band from like Norway or Denmark or something called Backstreet Girl. And they played, not to be confused with the Backstreet Boys, Backstreet Girl, and they were like this like sleazy, they all wore black and the dudes were super cool and we would see them all the time. I think they were a 3-piece maybe, and they were wearing all black before anyone else I knew, and they all black guitars and they had a thing going on.
Okay. Yeah.
And he got that song title, I think, just from them being in his ether, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then, let's see.
Tell me about Rhapsody and Barbed Wire, because that sounds like you.
Rhapsody and Barbed Wire, I want to say that Mike Watson wrote that.
Ah, see, that sounds to me like.
And I think that title was given to us from a fan in a fan letter.
Ah, okay. This is what I'm after. This is the stuff I want to know.
I can't confirm that 100% because we're talking 30 years ago.
5 years ago. Yeah.
I have no idea, but you're right. And you know, there's footage on YouTube of us playing Rhapsody and Barbed Wire in '93 with Kevin Fowler on guitar. There's footage of us playing another song called One on One Live at the back room, filmed by Dave Pruitt with probably Danny Aaron on guitar.
Wow. Okay.
But a few of them with Kevin Fowler. One on One Lives about phone sex. Yeah, we were still caveman brained, you know, party dude. And then there, you know, it was that, you know, that's the kind of band we still were. That's how far back that was. I think that there's some maturity starting to happen on the songs that ended up on Pissed. I really think Pissed has some songs that were like really, like I love Illustrated Man, and Mike Watson wrote that's not on Demolition, it's on Pissed, to be clear, but starting to think outside of the, you know, fuck shit up attitude, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Rattle My Cage is definitely another Mike Watson lyric.
Okay.
And that's just,
I think Mike is more proficient than people might realize as a lyricist. Give Me No Lip is his, isn't it?
Yeah. He wrote Best of Friends. He wrote Give Me No Lip. He wrote Tin Boots.
Yeah. Mike deserves a quick high five.
Yeah, he deserves many high fives.
Yeah.
He wrote some great lyrics. You know, Tim Tremblay wrote some great lyrics, and actually both of those guys sort of influenced where I was going with lyrics that sort of fit the shoes that they built. Wrong word, but you know what I mean? Yeah. They sort of they trailblazed the path for the sound of the band in a roundabout.
The template. Yeah.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And I owe them big time for the songs that I wrote. But during this, like I said, this was our job in this 2-year span. And Mike Watson was the most prolific I have ever seen them. And when I talked to him about it, he's kind of like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I would sit around in the apartment and wait for my wife to get home, and I would just write songs all day. I would just write lyrics all fucking day. And he'd show up with 2 or 3 every week. He'd have 2 or 3 new lyrics, and I'd be, damn. And so I would use them. If I didn't have shit, I was kind of, whether I loved them or they were, you know, hot, cold, whatever, to me, upon initial, just first time I saw them, this sounds bad, but I was sort of forced to use them with the riffs of the day.
Okay.
if Scott and Danny or whoever was writing riffs in there that day, whether whoever was there or was not there, whatever was in the room, hey, give me something. Let me, chitter chatter, hippity hop over this riff with some of these lyrics Watson just handed me before he went to the 7-Eleven to buy beer.
Yeah.
At noon. which was commonplace.
One of my favorite Dangerous Toys lyrics is a Mike Watson, and it's from Gimme No Lip, and it's the line, "Once I had a dream you couldn't utter a peep, and then you woke me up because you were talking in your sleep." That is freaking genius, man.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that. Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of shit, and that lyric probably has gotten him and fans who love that lyric a bit too much, or have lived that lyric, or even had the same dream, probably have gotten them in trouble. But I think that it's sort of omnivorous and ambiguous, the meaning of "Gimme No Lip."
Yeah,
it's like
it's universal.
Sporting the Woody is also universal. People don't realize that. Rock out with your cock out and jam out with your clam out. It's the same. It's the same thing. It's happy. It's happiness. It's, when you're upset, you're happy, whatever's in between. It's not pointed at male or female.
It's celebrate.
Yeah, that's right. All of the tongue in cheek is there in everyday problems. Even on Demolition, it was just, we were just going with who the people that we were at the time. Rhapsody and Barbed Wire is just about, let's see, it was a nick of time. We were getting out of line when the boys and I arrived, pissing in the wind. God, I'm running out of steam. Just barely alive. Guest list hotel backstage passes, don't need a map to find sweet sassafrasses, bionic babies, out of control hell raisers, Rhapsody and Barbed Wire, raising up some hellfire, a rolling stone or hayseed, smoking up some tumbleweed.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
But see, that totally works with the outlaw thing. It's working for everything that we had done prior. Let's see, there's One-on-One Live is, let's see, I'm Getting Hot, Need a Shot. I can't. Some of these just go away because they're not rehearsed. Yeah, I don't know these. Let's see. But the hook in One-on-One Live is One-on-One Live 1-800-LIPS. So there you go. It's about what it is. It is what it is. There is some good one-liners in there. And I want to say I wrote that one. The one song that I'm embarrassed about is the one that I wrote.
Which one is that?
One-on-One Live.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure I wrote that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I refuse to recite the lyrics, because when all the lyrics are in the record, by the way. So have fun, kids.
Will we hear any of these songs live when the album comes out and you do?
That's a really good question. That's something that the band has not spoken about at all.
Because I'm sure you haven't rehearsed these songs in 30 some years.
No,
right?
We don't care to.
Right.
I go back to they're rejected. They're rejected by, somewhat by us, because we were told you're not good enough, and we said, well, fuck you. And
I feel like people, if you put this out, December 12th, it's coming out, and people are going to buy it or stream it, or they're going to listen to it. And they're going to have a favorite song, and they're going to be happy that there's something new to their ears they haven't heard.
Yeah, sure. Do you like the song, Oh, Well, So What, Who Cares?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a song, it's little brother, it's called Snafu. Situation Normal, All Fucked Up. Okay. And it was kind of written the same week, I think, as that song.
All right.
And because they kind of have the same Oh, well, so what? Who cares? It's, that story's like Boy Meets Girl and Whoopsie and all this bullshit. It's kind of reliving the tease and pleasing world, where if anybody knows that story, there's a gun involved and you're somewhere you don't need to be and someone's angry that you're there, so you got to go.
People know.
Yeah. The snafu is the same kind of a thing where you're kind of, you drive a piece of shit car and your life sucks, and but you're not mad about it at all because you're used to eating TV dinners and you ain't got no money to buy beer with,
Right.
So
or you got money to buy beer with and you don't buy TV dinners.
Right. You don't eat, you drink instead. Right.
To borrow from David Roach.
Yeah, correct.
You spend your money on the important stuff.
Yeah, that was things that, those were things that were going on. And, nowadays people just text you and say, hey, can you PayPal me $10? I'm hungry.
Right.
Well, that's like, what? Well, fuck no. That's God, what a new problem that we didn't have back then,
Right. So 10 songs, comes out December 12th, called Demolition, amazing artwork. I think people are going to be excited about it.
Yeah, there's a song called Burning Bridges that I'd actually forgotten about.
That's what I was going to ask you. When you're going back through these, is there, you kind of alluded to this earlier when you and Mike were having the discussion. Did you write that? Did I write that? Because it's been so long ago. Was there anything?
Well, there's hours and hours and hours of material.
Yeah, of course. Was there anything that jumped out at you as man, I wish we really would have had the time to fully bake this and do it a proper release? Because to me, it's like, it's the top of our game.
Well, I will be forthcoming and kind of spoiler alert here. There are songs that were demoed back then that are not on Demolition 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. That's a joke. We only have one Demolition.
Don't get hopes up.
Yeah. That we've held back because we want to re-record. We want to record them for a legit record.
Okay.
You just
what I just opened up.
Yeah, you just opened up Pandora's box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that kind of, that leads to my other question, which was, I know that you guys have been playing out live. You play Hold Your Horses, and there's another one.
Hangman Boogie.
Mm-hmm. Now, those are legit new Dangerous Toys songs.
Those have already been recorded.
So that's my question. Mm-hmm. Those songs are not to be confused with Demolition and vice versa, but
that's correct.
It's telling me and the world that there is a seed planted towards a new album of new material. So can you talk about a timeline on that at all? No
timeline.
Yeah, because that's been the story for years. That's the other question people always ask.
Well, when I'll keep names out of it. When someone in my camp might say something and then blabbermouth grab it and run with it, and it could be any site. There's more sites than Blabbermouth that do this, will grab something taken even slightly out of context, and the way that they spin it is close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
And then it comes back to me in an interview.
Right.
I'm not angry about it, but I tend to look the other way. Because I don't want people to get excited about that right now because they're in for heartbreak.
Right.
They should wait until someone is actually saying, we have a release date.
Right.
And until then,
that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Until then, it's a unicorn. It doesn't exist. It's in the ether. It's being talked about. Yeah, sure. I'll tell you, we've got, this many, I'm holding up two hands, we've got this many songs Some of them are recorded and even probably mixed pretty good. They could probably come out tomorrow and people would fucking freak out.
Right.
But we want to make a record, not an EP.
Yeah. Right.
Don't you? Don't you want us to put out 10 and not 5?
Yeah, I think so. And that's kind of the distinction I'm trying to make here, is that there is legit new Dangerous Toys songs being written and recorded off on the side over here, not to be confused with Demolition that we're talking about today. But the new songs continue to be a living, breathing thing. It's just moving slowly. That's kind of...
And we'll continue to move slowly.
Right. Everybody's busy, and
it's not like we're ignoring the idea.
Right.
It's a constant. As a matter of fact, it's like a sore that won't heal.
Yeah.
So don't make it any worse by poking at it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
No, I understand, because I've been hearing this from you for a long, long time. But
and you also heard from me that why would I want to make a new record in a climate that no one gives a shit about?
Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough.
I mean, I don't know. You know, it'll be a great measuring stick.
There's been a lot of bands that put out a lot of records that passed right by me. Why? I don't want that. You know, I'd rather, have it be something that someone's been waiting for, whether they love it or hate it.
Yeah.
I don't want to make 10 records when I can just make one that's you're either going to love or hate.
Yeah.
When you put out 10 records over a time, quite a bit of time, whatever it be, and however how prolific your band is, and your most hardcore fans say they love every record, but the truth might be, I like 2 songs on that one and 4 on that one and 2 songs and only 1 on that one.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't think it's unusual though either. I mean,
it's not. I mean, yeah. I'm guilty of the same thing.
I can look at a handful of AC/DC and Motorhead records and go, that is about
100%. But you hear, that's not me just admitting to you that I'm lazy. I'm admitting to you as to reasons why I'm hot and cold with the idea.
Right. Yeah. But I'll say that you and your bandmates are going to be your own worst critics, because that's the nature of art. I get it. I'm speaking on behalf of the fans who have been waiting for something. So here's a good example. I totally understand your point, and I do. I totally get how the game works, and I totally get the creative ambition and inspiration and all that. But you guys are a legacy band. You have an established audience. And here's the thing. You haven't been throwing bones every 2 or 3 years. A new Dangerous Toys album would kind of be like when Junkyard put out their last record. It was 27 years until they put out High Water. And we all know it didn't go triple platinum or anything crazy like that, but I'm sure it was a respectable, well-received record, and people were ready for it and they bought it.
100%.
Yeah. So I'm speaking on behalf of the fans that want a new Dangerous Toys record. And I can get in your head too. I understand the logic behind, people don't buy records anymore. I want it to be perfect. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be perfect in your eyes and in your ears. It should be. You should be satisfied with it. But I think there is an audience waiting for it. And you may be just too close to it to realize.
That's fair.
Because it's been 30 years or so.
Yeah, well, here's something else too. And I'm 50-50 on being able to speak for everyone in the band. But, we have low expectations with the idea of a demos album, right? Of a new album. We have low expectations, but that still doesn't mean that we don't want to write the best song that we can at age 60, 61, whatever.
Absolutely.
That people will compare to Teasin' Pleasin' and Scared. Because they don't know anything else.
Right. That's all legit.
Especially if they don't know about Pissed and the artist formerly known as. You know, if I do another interview going, so after Hellacious Acres, you guys broke up? Care to comment?
That's somebody who didn't do their homework.
Okay.
But it happens.
Okay.
That's your point, right?
It still happens, and it's embarrassing for them. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm speaking on behalf of the fans that know your catalog up to this point, and I think there would be more support out there than maybe you realize. But I also understand your perspective that says it's going to take what it takes because I want to be satisfied with it, and I've got 4 other guys I need to work with, and they got to be happy with it, and I totally get it. I'm just saying I would feel otherwise if, you know, you guys were putting something out every 3 to 5 to 6 years, and now we're talking about yet another one in 2027 or whatever it turns out to possibly be.
You know, I want to backpedal just a little bit, if I may. Demolition has, I mentioned it a second ago. There's a song called Burning Bridges that I had forgotten about.
Yeah.
And it's just me and Scott. It's acoustic guitar with.
Oh, okay.
And maybe it's a ballad, but it's up tempo. You know what I mean? It's this. It's campfire, you know what I mean? But it's this kind of, it's called Burning Bridges. So it's not exactly Kumbaya, my Lord.
Right.
So it kind of fits the climate. You know, it's weird when you find a song so old that you and your buddies wrote that fits things that are current.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a few moments on the record that make me smile, and tons of cringy ones.
Okay, that's
so
fair.
you know, I want people to realize that we all agreed that it's okay to be vulnerable, and I mean our attitude of Dangerous Toys is supposed to be, well, we don't really give a fuck. And we've never really given any fucks.
Right.
Even though in the end you kind of do, because, you know, you don't want to.
Well, your name's on it.
You don't want to put the wrong idea out there, but it's okay to slump a little bit here and there because it keeps it real. And to have a look into our fishbowl, where we were during that time, I think is kind of a special thing. Now that it's kind of being done, you know, and the response so far on the single has been great.
Yeah, and that points right back to what I was saying. People are hungry for Dangerous Toys, whether it's a quote unquote reject from 1993 or whether it's Hold Your Horses.
Well, they're going to be able to basically stand in the middle of the rehearsal room. You know, fantastically, they're going to be able to be standing right in the middle of the room going, the fuck are y'all doing in here? Well, they're going to hear songs that are pretty good, and they're going to be, some people might even go, man, how come this wasn't on Hellacious Acres? How come this wasn't on Pissed? Well, Pissed would have been a fucking double album then.
Right.
And people would have been like, duh, how come you didn't make a double album or whatever? You know what see what I'm saying? So, and then there's other moments where we're going, ooh, no way, you know. And there's a couple of them on there. I'm not particularly proud of all of the moments, but each song has something in it that I like, that makes me kind of smile, you know. And that's important.
Yeah,
that's all I want. You know, that's all anyone should want. But I think songs like Burning Bridges and Snafu and things like that. Let's see, what are the other songs on there? You don't have the song titles in front of you?
No, I don't.
Let me look it up real quick.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, just look it up. Yeah, it's in the press release.
I don't have the press release, but I went to.
Oh, you have all the songs listed?
Well, I went when I pulled up the Rock Shock Cowboy thing the other day. and it listed song titles that are not yet available. Okay, Demolition album. Okay, Come Out Swinging.
Yeah.
Your Sister, Shot to Hell. Your Sister.
Yeah.
Okay, do tell. What's this?
Yeah. Another Mike Watson. And once again, it's not about, Ed Gein or anything.
Right. Okay. I can tell by the hesitation in your voice.
Well, I'm trying to not laugh. Cheerleader 17. She'd been hanging around with those dudes on the football team, keeping score with the lipstick in her hip pocket, if you know what I mean. She tried to light my fuse the other day. Anyway,
okay.
The pre-chorus is not good. The chorus is, I got your sister tied up in my back seat. That's the first line of the chorus.
Oh man, this truly was a moment in time.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, the disclaimer here is you have to read all of the lyrics. And you have to know the tongue in cheek. You have to know what you're getting yourself into.
Well, we're talking about
like I said,
we're talking about a band that's known for sporting a Woody and teasing and pleasing. So
it's not about what that lyric would tell you that it's if standalone, right? You have to read the whole lyric.
Right, exactly.
It could be about your annoying little sister and how, that, hey man, chill out. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. It could be metaphorically saying that.
Yeah.
And people understand that. Boys and girls have an annoying little brother or little sister.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So maybe that's it a little bit, but the fact that she's a bad girl is probably like, thank God you got her tied up in the back seat because she was raising hell, So, it could be about The Exorcist, the priests have to come in and tame the beast. It's the same thing. So,
yeah.
Yeah. What Come Out Swinging is about, we were in a place where we were starting to maybe realize that we were going to be making an independent record. So Come Out Swinging starts with like, we've been together for years, shared many a beers, been fighting back the years and the tears. Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Okay.
And it's all about that. And it's all about you can't knock me down. I'm still going to write rock and roll songs.
Sure.
You don't have to like them. I'm writing them for me. So it's a little bit of an anthem, a little bit.
Right.
Maybe not the best executed song, but the message is there, and that's always been part of Dangerous Toys. So we wanted one of those on there. Kind of a Sticks and Stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the little brother, the late came a little bit later, little brother to Sticks and Stones.
Defiant.
Correct.
Yeah.
What else you got? Shot to Hell. Just Another Day. Shot to Hell. Yeah. That's like, here we go, just the first line in that is, I've made the decision to lead a life of crime.
How's that working out?
Well, obviously that didn't work out for anyone.
Right.
But I mean, if you ain't got no money and you ain't got no home, got to find you a bim to live with tonight.
There you go.
Got to find somewhere to sleep. Got to Just Another Day, Shot to Hell. See, Tim Tremblay and I's early collaborations still ring through the 90s.
Yeah.
And Mike Watson is kind of standalone, really good at mixing all of that stuff up really, really well. What's another title? And then
you covered them all at this point.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we've been through all 10 songs randomly throughout the course.
We did Snafu.
Yeah, Snafu, Shot to Hell, Backstreet Girl, Your Sister, Burning Bridges, One-on-One Live, Rhapsody, Rattle My Cage, Come Out Swinging, and the new single, Rock
That's
Shot
it.
Down.
That's it, folks.
That's it. So the reason I wanted to do this is because it is coming out December 12th. By the time you're watching or listening to this episode, that'll be about a week away, maybe 2 weeks at the most. But mark your calendars for December 12th, Demolition from Dangerous Toys. 10 songs that were written back in the day, collected and being released on Cleopatra Records. And
we polished them up as best we could. These are all dubbed off of old cassettes, digitized during COVID. Final mastering, I think, was done by Scott Dahlhoover. Some of them have a little bit of that tape warble in them, but I feel like you'll come to love it.
Yeah,
because it's a time capsule, and
exactly.
we were lucky to save it when we did. So.
Yeah. And I wanted to talk with you about it today because I wanted people to understand, when this drops on December 12th, I don't want people freaking out thinking it's the brand new Dangerous Toys record. I want to be very clear that these are tracks that are left over from back in the day being compiled together. As you said earlier, warts and all. And
right.
Yeah. But it'll be fun, and I know people will be looking forward to it.
Yeah, if the press release doesn't get out there, because the press release is explaining all of that, and if it doesn't get out there in the way that it probably should have gotten out there, they can refer to this conversation, and if not, they can go blindly on social media and just go, man, this new record sounds funny. Yeah, because it's demos, dumbass.
Yeah,
it says right on the front cover. And if they buy the record and read the liner notes, if they download it, they're not going to get the liner notes.
Right. Got to have liner notes.
Here we are in the new age, which is what's wrong. So if you buy the CD, maybe the cassette, you may need a magnifying glass to read those liners on a cassette tape cover, but
at the very least, your glasses like me and you.
The liner notes are fully clarifying to the era, the reasons why, what was going on, and who did what to the best way that we can recall.
Yes. It is a snapshot in time, folks. 10 tracks, Dangerous Toys. It's called Demolition. It comes out December 12th on Cleopatra Records. You can look for it, and you just got all the background on it today from Jason McMaster himself. So there you have it, folks. Keep an eye out for it. Jason and Dave here signing off another episode of the Talk Louder podcast.